Hi, this is Jonathan Rosenhead, Jerusalem psychotherapist. This week's Torah and Psychology post for Parshas Haazinu is titled, I Can't Cope. Because unfortunately there are times where we say these very words, where our suffering is so great that we just call out, we cry out in desperation, I can't cope. And I think from this week's Parsha we can gain some skills and some comfort in how to cope with the suffering that we have in our life, to overcome these challenges. Because in this week's Parsha, in the song of Haazinu, Hashem is referred to as the rock, Hatzur. And this name comes up numerous times during the song. And in the first occurrence, we have the pasuk, Hatzur tamim pa'alo, that Hashem's actions are perfect. And this is referring to when Hashem gives out punishment and suffering in the world. And Rashi says that although Hashem is strong, He does not give out punishment in an aggressive, casual way, but rather in a precise, calculated way. And furthermore, the Ohr HaChaim says that a person may be inclined to look at the world and to wonder of the seeming unfairness of the world, where good people suffer and bad people are rewarded and have a good life. But the pasuk is giving a message in saying that Hashem's actions are perfect, that you can't compare suffering in the world, one person to another. The suffering that Hashem gives, that occurs in the world, is given in a precise, calculated way. And I think this is an important message for therapy, because sometimes perhaps a person will look at their own suffering and they will wonder, what did they do? They will wonder at the unfairness. Why are they suffering so much more than other people? Or perhaps you try to comfort another person and say, your suffering is nothing compared to other people. There are people in the world that their suffering is so much greater. But these words of comfort are futile, because a person's suffering is subjective, and the intensity of the experience is irrespective to the level of suffering in the world or other people's suffering. And the message from Rashi and Ohr HaChaim is that when we are given suffering, it is given in a precise way. It's something that we can cope with. It's there to challenge us perhaps, but it's something that we can cope with. We just need to learn how to do that. And also the Ohr HaChaim teaches us that we should not compare one person's suffering to another. So how do we cope? How do we avoid these words of I just can't cope? So this rock is also an analogy in therapy for the techniques of grounding and anchoring. Grounding and anchoring, similar to a rock, are techniques that provide stability. They are strong and immobile, and they give us a sense of comfort and stability. So for example, there's techniques such as imagery, bringing up an image in our mind that provides us with this comfort and stability. Or a place that we can go to, this place which provides us comfort, where we feel safe and stable. Or there's also physiological sensations, the breathing exercises that we focus on our breathing, or other physiological sensations that we have in our body that we can focus on and provide that concentration, the focus and stability. Or perhaps a rock is our faith, or other people, our friends, family, or a therapist that can be that source of comfort, that can be a rock for us. So I think suffering, from a Torah and psychological perspective, we can say that suffering there's a purpose to our suffering. But when Hashem gives it to us, it's something that we can cope with. We just need to learn how to do this. Because perhaps all we need is a rock to defeat a giant. Have a great Shabbos and keep well.